Welcome, everyone, to Alcoholically Correct. I'm JB. I'm joined today and always by...
Zach, here to tell you why you're wrong about today.
Why and what
you're wrong about. Why and what. Not only what you're wrong about today, but why you're also wrong about that.
If we were doing a scorecard, you're one behind me on that because you were wrong about a word that making it two words. White.
No, I made up a new word to describe the situation better.
Okay, fair enough. I'm sorry. Darn, I'm wrong again. No. What's going on,
everybody? The English language just wasn't complete enough for me.
Fair. I had a conversation like that with my mom earlier where she asked me what size I thought my 2-year-old daughter would be wearing for the purposes of matching my newborn son in a year from now. And she asked me so convolutedly, and she's like, I know I sound crazy. And I literally go, what size sweatshirt do you think Khaleesi will be wearing this time next year? And she goes, are you asking me? And I go, no, I'm fixing it to human grammar for you. Love my mom. Her brain works, differently.
Very differently than most people's.
But it's like a beautiful mind in certain ways. So anyways, I don't know where I'm going with that.
Is?
Well,
I think you're going with my hat. It's just she would love it.
Yeah, oh, for sure. Well, that's exactly, her mind works differently in those ways too. And no, wonderful hat there, Zach. I'm sorry. You want me to highlight the MAGA hat? I mean, no, it's it is a MAGA hat. You're making America great again by doing something a little different, which was what?
We just did.
That's right.
What it says.
We just did November 3rd. I mean, about November 5th, 6th, 7th, whatever day they
to be fair, we all did it on November 3rd. It just wasn't finalized.
I heard about this. We're totally rambling anyway, so I might as well just throw in some random thing. Do you know why we wait so long after the election to inaugurate the new president?
I have a lot of different reasonings, but I can't give it to you right now, so help me out here.
One significant, we actually used to wait, I think it was 4 months. We used to go into
Correct.
March or whatever. This is so awesome that we have not changed this. So that horses had time to get to DC from different states where the president might be. Yes, it was literally a travel situation. In most developed nations, it's immediate, the changeover, but instead we get to have months and months of will he, won't he, and then he will. And
just out of curiosity, so you're saying that the Electoral College is still very relevant this day and age?
That was a different conversation, literally in a different episode. Ranked choice voting, we both kind of found common ground on, although it passed in Hawaii somewhere just passed
it. Passed in a lot of substates.
No, somewhere new though. I mean, somewhere failed and somewhere passed this last election cycle.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, Georgia does somewhat of a ranked choice voting
with their presidential though.
That's why we have this. No, not with presidential, but with the primaries.
Oh, that's why we have the runoff.
We have the runoffs now too for the Senate races, which is kind of cool.
Sure. Because
you have to have a 50% vote, and they did not get it.
Wow. So. Yeah, that's interesting. So that is kind of so you literally could play it. So if if they did that presidentially, even if it was you have to have 50%, which by the way Biden does. Just wanted to rub that in for our podcast audience that didn't get rubbed in by your hat. I figured I would throw a little rub there too. Anyway, but if you didn't have 50%, you would do a runoff election of the top two, and
Correct.
You literally could be a spoiler, like someone like a Nader back in the day, whatever could throw enough votes from either or both sides to keep it from definitely going that way. But then again, you're just at that point, you're somewhat delaying the inevitable.
Right. But the whole point there is that the fact that it is that they're the second special election. So the first one was just two candidates. The Democratic one got 49 or 48% of the vote. The Republican candidate got 9.8% of the vote. So just under the limit. So that runoff is, really close. But The other runoff was you had like 3 Republicans, 3 Democrats all running alongside each other for that race. And nobody even got close to 50%. So the 2 top candidates get their own separate runoff, which is kind of cool.
Okay, one more thing, and then we need to actually start the real show. As far as
Wait, we have a real show?
Well, you're right. What am I talking about? Good point. Anyone in the audience was just like, duh. What show? This is just something I put on for background noise. It helps me lull off to sleep when I've been drinking alone. But anyways, isn't that how we started the idea?
Wait. I'm pretty sure. Drinking alone? We were just drinking alone in our own rooms.
That's right. It's like, if we did this on camera and recorded it, we could say we're making a podcast. Anyways, okay. I lost my train of thought there with the special election. You know what? It doesn't matter. Let's get into the real show. I'm going to ask it.
So,
how's the week
How
been?
was your week?
Yeah, no. It's been a good week. Actually, it's been 2 weeks. Let's be honest with the audience. We missed a week posting because we missed a week recording because of multiple not Thanksgiving. We don't record on Thursdays, but Thanksgiving was 2 days ago. The date will matter when we talk about our third topic today, so might as well own up to it. But we did miss a week there, took a little week off. Apparently bringing a newborn to my home bar even was inappropriate that first week, so I had to wait. But I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
But
no, you're not. That's the problem.
Well, inappropriate nothing. I'm just passed out because I'm running 2 kids now, and I'm like, and I'm like, you know what?
This seems like a you choice, though.
Life feels drunk right now. I don't need to also be drinking, but now it's been a couple weeks. I really need to be also drinking. Speaking of which, let's jump into that. What are you drinking?
Cool. So I've actually started with a pack from New Belgium. So I'm kind of doing a mixed beverage set from New Belgian Ale or New Belgian Brewery. Okay. So all sorts of
just kind of a grab bag, but all New Belgium there.
Yep. Yeah, and I'm going to be doing vodka myself. What about yourself?
Keeping with the season and Thanksgiving being 2 days ago, I decided to try the Celebration 2020 from the Sierra Nevada. Not a huge fan, but that's just me so far.
Yeah, that's...
The more I drink, the more I might like it. Kind of hoppy.
It's very hoppy. Yep. It is very, very hoppy.
Yeah, it's the hop instead of the ho. But you know what? The more you drink, the more you like it. That's the whole thing with beer.
At least that's what you tell yourself.
No, you get drunker. It works. You just go, oh.
It doesn't always. There are some beers that you drink that you're like, oh, no, this doesn't get any better.
Sounds like you have a commitment problem.
I'd like to talk to you about Orlando Brewing Company when they decided that pizza beer was a good idea.
I mean, I'm guessing it was terrible.
Yeah. Did
it taste like onion or something?
Oh. No, it was like the first sip you're like, oh, that's like oregano-y pizza. And then the second sip you're like, oh, I just got punched in the face by oregano. And you're like, I didn't know that this was a thing that could happen to me. But it happened
instead
to
of
me.
Hops, it was just oregano and whatever else makes it.
It was oregano in your face. Just repeatedly.
Oh my gosh. Which, yeah. Okay, I could see that being kind of gross. But again, it's beer. You get through enough of them, it's going to be better than the first few were.
I didn't eat pizza for a month after that.
Well, see, and look at that. It's healthy for you, too, is what you're saying. Are you shooting anything special?
No, like I said, just straight vodka.
I missed that. Yeah, no, I got rum going on over here. It's the same thing. But should we take one of those shots and jump into the first topic?
I think so. Let's go ahead and start it off. And cheers, my friend. Wait, what are we...
It's a sake cup as a shot glass. I just kind of grabbed.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
I was just curious. I was just like, that's
of
a
all
new
the
one.
Shot glasses I've had, this is the one you point out. Fair enough. No,
I think so.
It is very purty. I didn't paint it myself.
Purdy.
All right. And salute.
All right. Cheers.
Hey, the Tennessee comes out every once in a while. Okay, so
it was a purdy Japanese
that's
glass.
Right. Hey, you of all people with your semi almost wannabe trucker hat there, Mr. We just did.
It's okay, you can be jealous.
I am a little jealous. I figure Christmas and my birthday's coming up. All
right,
no. You don't have to get me one. I probably won't wear it.
It's too late now. Now I know what's happening.
My family.
Maybe I'll just buy one on your behalf for all of them.
Oh my gosh, that's the real way to do it. Merry Christmas. Anyways, okay. So no, let's talk about something totally unrelated. 5G.
Yeah.
That's
what I want to talk about, because you always are all on about how 5G is going to change the world.
That might be a somewhat misrepresentation. I have heard talk that 5G could change the world, quote unquote, technologically speaking. That the speeds we could see with 5G would be unlike anything we have, and it would make things like automation that much easier, because the holdback with automation right now is the connectivity time sometimes with bigger machines and bigger operations.
Such as what people say. I mean, those people would be entirely wrong, but that's what some people say. Mostly marketing people for companies like Sprint and T-Mobile and AT&T and probably Verizon. So
hey, there could also be some of the people that write the articles because of like kickbacks from the marketing people from Sprint and Verizon. Right. You know, I'm just saying, broaden your horizons. Think a little bit outside the box. Don't be so, cynical. There are more than one ways to, drain money off of a thing. So
look, don't get me wrong. I love technology. I love the next biggest, greatest thing. I am now on the Pixel 5. It has 5G. I was all in because I like the Pixel 5.
Wait, but I knew you had questions with 5G before you got this phone, so don't say all in.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. But you were hopeful.
I'm just all in on the Pixel 5.
For sure. Okay.
Oh, I knew the 5G wasn't.
We know about you and Google products. You did a whole topic on that.
We already went over that. Yeah. But
next time they got to pay. That was one freebie.
Everybody gets one. But no, so 5G. It's not what people claim it is. It's not a big deal.
Okay.
The thing is, there's nothing that 5G does that the current 4G technology can't do, at least in terms of the general population.
Okay.
So, 4G speeds can top out at gigabit speeds.
Okay.
Right? So gigabit, like full gigabit, like my internet connection that's a fiber line type speeds can be done on 4G LTE.
So not me, obviously. Of course, we're talking about this topic.
No, you live with
oh no, I have terrible internet.
Spectrum.
No, I'm not talking about that. Right. But no, what I was going to say, not me, but our poor audience who maybe doesn't know, what would a gigabit speed, like, can you explain that in speeds as far as time of...
You can download a CD in 1 second.
Oh, wow. 4G can do that?
Technically, yes. If you max out a 4G LTE connection, you can download a CD in 1 second.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
For anyone our age who remembers downloading LimeWire CDs, I mean, no, of course not. God, is that going to incriminate me?
No,
don't send me to jail.
I've done some things.
But no, anyone our age who knows horrible people who did things like that, we would remember that it could take hours and days for those to sometimes fail trying to download over cable internet that, seemed like the quickest thing in the world compared to dial-up internet that was you couldn't even download on. So I'm just saying, like, a second, that's pretty impressive for a whole CD. I mean, depending on the CD, right? Like if it's Taylor Swift, I'm just kidding. Sorry, T Swift.
Oh, you're just talking quality of what you're downloading.
Right. But it's mostly impressive. 1 second. The speed is impressive. Yeah. So anyways, so 4G can do that. That's pretty fast. What about any of the claims with automation, though? Like that there are machines that... So there's nothing to that at all? That's just kind of made up talk?
Yeah. So there's really not much that 4G can't do that 4G LTE can't do that 5G can. The only place where there's even a modicum of difference is when you're talking about the ultra high band for 5G. So when you're talking ultra high band 5G, it does have an advantage. It can support about 5 to 10 times the number of devices on that cell tower, which sounds really impressive until you realize that that cell tower has the radius of about a block. It can go 1 block for that whole cell tower. So yeah, it can support a heck of a lot more people, but inside of that 1 block.
How big are the cell towers? Do we know? Do you know?
Imagine the size of a computer monitor.
Oh, well, that's not bad, though. How expensive are they to make?
Outside of my price range?
Well, obviously. But I mean, like, okay, so if a city was trying to go all ultra high band 5G, how much would they be able to bulk buy to put it in every major block in their town?
The real problem there has nothing to do with towers. And this is the big kicker that we're talking. Nobody really cares. Like I said, 4G LTE towers.
Probably about this topic at all. It's only you and I, but we're going to talk about it anyways. But anyways, sorry. Go ahead. Nobody really cares.
Yeah. So 4G, the LTE towers, the thing that we were mentioning earlier was it's not about the signal that they're broadcasting. It doesn't matter if you're using 4G LTE or 5G. The problem is the back end, the backbone of that connection, the stuff that connects that tower to the rest of the internet isn't actually great. They're not using fiber to the ports. They're not actually utilizing the capability of the 4G network. So why the heck do you need a 5G network thrown on top of it? Especially one that won't have the range that the 4G towers have.
Why aren't they capitalizing on the 4G?
Because that costs money, and why would I pay for backbone internet when I can just go ahead and not do that and wait until the US government subsidizes my next purchase?
Of internet upgrade?
For if I were a cellular provider,
got it.
I would kind of be like, why would I upgrade my back end when if I don't, the public is going to pay for it in their taxes and upgrade it for me?
Yeah,
for free.
That makes sense. Yeah,
yeah.
That's kind of
so. And the problem is that it's the back end.
Did you just backdoor talk down social programs? If I'm getting money for free, why should I do any? I'm just totally kidding. I just wanted
I did not quite do that. I did the exact opposite. I talked about subsidies for
if I'm getting subsidized for not doing something.
Are you saying that corporations are people? Because I will argue that all day.
I'm not, because I was totally making a joke. It had nothing to do with nothing.
I
was just being obnoxious for fun. But I was just saying you did make it. It's a good analogy, even though it may not be a good correlation.
Terrible analogy.
Like you say, one doesn't prove the other, but I just mean they're saying the same thing. Getting money from somewhere else or getting something else paid for by someone else by waiting for it. That is the argument against. That's what I'm saying. I'm not necessarily taking the stance. I'm just saying that is the argument against. Obviously, I'm a UBI guy, so I'm not that guy. I'm just saying that is the argument against it.
And I will tell you that even that argument isn't even remotely close to the same. But we don't need to get into that.
Not at all. Let's stay on 5G.
I am complaining about 5G,
I'm sorry. Okay, so 5G sucks.
I am complaining about 5G.
They're selling it for nothing to make money for nothing.
Right. It is an expensive waste of money. So, for example, my Pixel 5, which is a wonderful phone and I love it, it cost, I think, $6.99 or something like that. Maybe $5.99. I don't know. I didn't actually pay attention, but because I got that big podcast money rolling in.
That's it.
Big podcast money.
Thank you, likers and subscribers out there that are. That's right. That you just bought Zach a Pixel 5. Probably not, but we'll pretend.
No, not at all. So in any case,
actually, you probably made him wait an extra week or two, but that's okay. You gotta pay to like host these things or whatever. So no. Okay, 5G. You love your
joking,
phone,
but you're not joking.
Well,
no. So
no,
the thing
it's funny, but I'm not joking.
So yeah, no. So the thing that kills me is this phone costs $100 less in Canada, and not just because the Canadian dollar is monopoly money. It actually costs $100 less because they don't have to include the Verizon 5G chip in their phone.
Oh.
Not that the Verizon 5G is any different, other than that it requires its own unique modem because Verizon.
I mean, I will say they're more expensive, but Verizon is the best service I ever had. At least down here in Florida.
Say that.
I have T-Mobile now, and it works, but I'm telling you, Verizon was the best that I ever had. We just stopped because it was like $100 more a month, and it's like, it's not really worth that.
It's not worth $100 more.
Which, same thing here. Literally, you paid $100 more for your phone.
I literally paid $100 more for my phone so I could use the Verizon, so that the Verizon 5G bands, which are so useful, could be accessible by my phone, which they aren't actually useful. That's the part that kills me. It's like, this is such a small use case. You're talking about like the peak of New York City at rush hour type usefulness. Yeah. That is where this might even remotely come into play. And it requires there to be towers within your range. It requires a bunch of other... Like, why do I have to pay $100 more for this crap? I am on T-Mobile.
Are they working on anything past 5G? Is there a theory that over the next year or two they could upgrade things in ways that would make it more useful? What?
We aren't even utilizing 4G LTE.
But that's what I'm saying is part of why we also, at least a part of it, maybe the argument for it, why they stopped utilizing 4G might have been because they knew 5G was coming, so to speak. So they were like, no, let's work on the next thing.
No. Seriously, no. What it is it's like you go back home, you have a DSL connection. You upgrade to a Wi-Fi 6 router. You're like, I have a router that supports 10 gigabits per second. Like, yeah, but your backbone is only hooked up at 10 megabits per second. Yeah, but I can support up to 10 gigabits per second on my Wi-Fi. Yeah, but your backbone is still 10 megabits per second. That doesn't help.
It makes me think of that Fairly Odd Parents meme with the guy with the empty trophy room with the dad, and it goes, "This is where I put my megabits."
You're talking about USF again?
Oh, nice, no trophies. I was gonna get to that. I meant to in the opening, but we went way off course because I wanted to talk about the UCF USF Black Friday game. They did win.
It was.
Congrats, Knights.
Of course.
But anyways, no, he has the meme and he's like, this is where I'd put whatever if I had any. It's like, this is where I'd put my megabytes of internet speed if I had any.
Well, that's actually the real problem. So when you look at actually the US compared to the rest of the world, I know I'm going way over in terms of what is literally me just hating on 5G. But when you look at 4G LTE from the US and you compare it to the rest of the world, we're like 30th in the world in terms of speeds. And our 5G is like 29th in the world compared to the 4G speeds. So, like, okay, cool. We upped one notch. There are 4G LTE speeds that are faster than our 5G speeds.
We're number 29. 29, right? 25?
29, yeah, something like that.
Yeah, one spot. Okay.
It's not great. And
we're number 29.
It's literally the case of we aren't utilizing the technology that we have to our fullest, but we're like, here's the new best technology. And you're like, I didn't use the last one.
It's like when you buy workout equipment. You buy workout equipment. You're like, oh my God, I am ordering that bike. That is what I need. I'm going to work out every day on that bike. That's awesome. And then you use it for like a week and then you start hanging clothes on it. And then they come out with some workout bench. You go, you know what? That workout bench, that's why I don't work out. If I had a workout bench, that is what I'd use. That is, so you order that and same thing. It's a great place to put clothes.
Is this why you're in the garage now?
That's why I'm in the garage.
Been relegated there because
I'm staring at all my
workouts?
unused workout equipment. That's right. No. But no, so I'm just saying it's you're not using what you have. I'm not buying you new.
Yeah.
Right?
So that's my issue with 5G is that we aren't using 4G LTE. So people start talking about 5G being better and it's like the range is shorter by default. It's same thing between 2.4 gigahertz and 5 gigahertz. Remember when that was a whole thing? Oh no, everyone's got 5 gigahertz now for your Wi-Fi.
I don't.
The 2.4 and the 5 gigs.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it was double the.
Right.
I'm sorry, I just don't remember it. But it was like double the speed. It was supposed to be, but it didn't matter.
No, it just what it is it's supposed to be faster, and the problem is that it has half the range because it's not
so
it's a higher frequency.
Crappier. Yeah.
Well, yeah. What it is that it's a higher frequency. It doesn't have as much penetrating thing power.
Hate when that happens.
Doesn't everyone? But that's the same thing that happened with 5G versus 4G. Even though they're different technologies, doesn't matter. The whole point is, yeah, we got a quote unquote faster top bind, but we aren't filling it anyways, and now we have half the range. So
interesting.
It's crap. I mean, just to prove the point, I was complaining the other day. I was over in St. Augustine, and I was like, "Hey, look, I have 5G." I ran a speed test. I got like 40 megabits per second down, 20 megabits per second up. Seems decent, but also well within the range of 4G. And also, not only that, like they were the latency was like, oh yeah, 22 milliseconds, cool. But also, I have a jitter of up to 150 milliseconds. So my message to you could either be immediate, or it could be, an eighth of a second behind. And it just bounced between them. And it's like, oh, this is actually worse than a 4G experience. So I actually had to turn 5G off on my phone to make it useful.
Wow. So 4G was actually better in that. Okay. Because at first I was like an eighth of a second just doesn't sound that bad. But if it was if it was worth turning off. Yeah.
It's
every
it's the
function
same thing as
of
when it. Every click could be up to an eighth of a second, and that's enough time for the human brain to go, "Oh, there's a delay. This sucks."
Yeah, no. And who wants to think that when you paid $100 more just because of Verizon's 5G special network?
Thank you. You get it. You get my hate.
I'm with you. I'm surprised we didn't just make that the whole show. Should we just, we'll take the other two shots? And no, I'm just kidding. No, we should not. But we should take a second shot here.
Speaking of hate, correct. You're right. Let's go ahead and take our second shot, and we will start with some hate.
No hate here. I love it. Okay. See, I'm even festively in the mood.
Of elf butt.
That's right. I don't drink from that
cheers.
part. That'd be gross. I drink from where he's decapitated. Okay, cheers. Salute.
I mean,
you ever get it like stuck in your mouth for whatever reason? The way it goes into your mouth, you're like, I can't swallow
it's stuck
that
on
or
my
I'll
lips
choke.
right now. Stuck on my lips, which is weird. It's a weird experience right now. My lips have just gone numb.
I'm glad we struggled together. It's because you were gonna hate on something that's supposed to be lovely.
No, but
we were gonna talk about
hating on the holidays. I'm hating on all of the holidays. That's what we were talking about. So I'm like, let me talk about some hate real quick. Cause
nice. I think it was initial. Well, I was gonna say I think The Onion that said, man, thousands of miles away from family, just ate Taco Bell for Thanksgiving, having the greatest Thanksgiving of his life. Because Thanksgiving passed.
Slightly wrong.
Well, in that a lot of people still traveled and got together. Millions of people traveled, even though they asked people to stay home. But anyways, we're not going to go too far into that. But no, we are. So you're hating on the holidays. Why do you bah humbug you? Why do you hate on the holidays, Zach?
Why would you not? There's so many reasons. You get together with your family, and because everyone knows their family is the greatest people in the world. There is never a time when you get together with your family that drama occurs. Never. Everyone during the holidays is always on their best behavior and friendly, and everybody loves everyone, right? That's how holidays work.
That's right. Isn't that how? That's what everyone told themselves. The people who did decide to like stay away, they were like, "Oh my gosh, I'm missing the most." No, I happen to love my holidays. I'm not gonna lie, I really do. Even this year, we had a great holiday, but I was missing family. Normally, Drea's family comes down. It's always nice. I trash can a turkey. That's been our new tradition for the last 3 years. Do you know about trash canning turkeys?
I'm sorry, I do, but it's not as good as what I do to turkeys. And trust me, I do some good things to turkeys.
You make some really good turkeys. That was speaking of, I guess we could have saved it for now, but speaking of the UCF Black Friday, you always do a big tailgate when they're playing at UCF. And you always have some really good, this teriyaki turkeys you do are pretty incredible, I gotta say. But I'm telling you, man, one of these years or one of these, like maybe an off Thanksgiving time when I just get a turkey randomly, you've got to try my trash can turkey. It's pretty amazing because you put nothing but like salt, pepper, and butter, but it's putting it in the trash can, surrounding it with and topping it with all the charcoal, putting like, I always put wood chips now. So I kind of get that extra smoky, like
to get a little
wood
bit
chip
smoky
aroma to
Nice.
Bro, it's so good, and it just falls apart. Even the white meat, like you don't have to have gravy. I'm more of a dark meat person because white meat can be kind of dry. Yours isn't. I know. You make a great turkey too, but you can explain more if you want what you do with your turkeys.
Oh yes, I fry my turkeys. It is terrifying beyond all reason throughout the entire process. See, well, what you inject do them is as well. Safe.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I do. I absolutely inject my turkeys. My favorite turkey,
I start
as you've
a giant
said,
fire in my backyard around the grass. It's only somewhat safe. Safe is throwing it in the oven like a pansy.
Okay, I will take a giant fire in my yard over a boiling pot of terrifying just oil because you have this hash frozen turkey because you didn't defrost it properly. Nobody ever defrosts it properly, and you're putting it into a vat of boiling oil that's like borderline shooting over. The only reason it hasn't exploded yet is because you have a friend literally cutting the gas as the moment the oil boils. Not saying that this is what's happened repeatedly. I'm just saying it's a possible outcome.
It could happen that way. I definitely was digging out a neck from my turkey this year that was like frozen into place with a nice block of ice on the inside. We almost got it, but there was this like chunk of ice I had to work through that was pretty hard.
But
my hand might have got a little bit of frostbite.
Yeah, that is okay versus when that goes in my pot of boiling oil that just turns into fireballs. So a boiling oil pot.
Hey, but drinking's one of the best part about making dangerous turkeys.
That's the only
Fireballs,
way
right?
I actually fry turkey. Yeah. No, but for real, drinking is the only reason I actually. Oh God, yeah, it's the only way to fry a turkey. If you fry a turkey sober, you are an insane human being. There is nothing safe or reasonable about frying a turkey. It's just a terrifying experience all around. And if you're doing it sober, you've done it wrong because. Dear God, there's a good chance my arm is going to disappear every time I drop a turkey in that freaking pot. So, yeah,
Fair.
No, I don't do it sober. But
you gotta
yeah,
be drunk.
so that's my
If you ever get the opportunity, you have to try Zach or my turkey. We make good turkeys. That's what we're trying to say. But that's not going to be the whole topic. And we actually want to talk about. Oh, go ahead.
No, it was
also
about. We're talking about holiday traditions. And that was I was
that
just say,
was
that's
well,
mine,
and how we got where we're at. Yeah, well, that's fair. That's fair. But I wouldn't. So my thing was, I was more curious about the logistics of holidays. So I looked into a little bit how holidays landed, how and where they are. But go ahead. For you, what?
Okay. Oh, I was just gonna say, for me, the Thanksgiving, as you were talking about, started because there suddenly UCF changed their schedule, and it was like, hey, we're having Thanksgiving on. We're having our game on Thanksgiving, our hate game, our UCF USF game, and I was like, oh well, crap. Well, now I can't have Thanksgiving with family, so I said, hey, family, we're having Thanksgiving at the UCF game, and they're like, no, and I went, yes. Would you like me to be there? Because this is what's happening. I will host. I will do my thing, and that's how my Thanksgiving tradition started.
So, but now it's
and now I fry
Black
like
Friday,
4
which
turkeys.
Is nice. You do.
It's true.
You do.
And I normally fry like 4 turkeys per Thanksgiving now.
Do you most years though? Do you get together on Thanksgiving as well, since you have the game the next day?
No, normally that is our Thanksgiving. That's our
your Thanksgiving celebration. It's fair. There'd be a lot of turkey. Like you can eat turkey that many days in a row, but it has to be the same turkey left over, which from a tailgate there's never leftover turkey, but
we actually do have some, surprisingly. When we cook 4 turkeys, we only have like a half turkey left over.
Somebody's not drinking enough. They're leaving that much turkey just sitting there.
Correct. Not wrong.
We'll talk Thanksgiving first. So I looked into a little bit. We'll take it back a bit like we do in the show. Do you know why we celebrate and how and when we started celebrating Thanksgiving on the 4th Thursday of every November? There's a little bit of a story to all that.
I'm sure there is. So I actually don't know it offhand. So I'm going to just go ahead and throw out a random guess here. I'm going to assume that there was a non-Christian tradition that we decided as a whole to go ahead and take over because, Christian thing. And we decided to relate it to the time when the Indians gave us all the extra food, even though we basically murdered them anyways.
Okay, wait. So I want to talk about that then. So the reason it's on the 4th Thursday.
That was my
You're good.
take
No. I like that guess.
One.
No, I get it. But I was gonna say that was one of the interesting things that I found out. There's a little more to that story. So a lot of people know with Thanksgiving that it comes from the settlers coming over from Europe and the Native Americans helping them get through the hard winter and all that, and then we ended up. Well. Here's the thing. There's 2 sides to that helping them. So they weren't forced at the time. We weren't strong enough. The Europeans weren't strong enough. There was like 40 of all the settlers. They had already been wiped out through one of the tough winters or whatever. And there was like 40 of them left. And so then for the next one, they helped them.
And all of them had COVID.
COVID of the time. I actually saw something like that too that said, people deciding to go against like better judgment to spread disease is a very appropriate way to celebrate Thanksgiving. But I didn't come up with it, but I read it. It was funny. But no, so yes, part of that. But the thing is that the Indian tribe that came to us, first of all, the first Indian that came up, I wish I could remember his name. I don't have the note handy, but he was on his own, and he spoke broken English, and he came into the village of like the 40 or 60 some odd pilgrims that were left, and he asked for a beer. So it's very appropriate to the show. And he enjoyed Americanized, or well, not American, now it would be Americanized, sorry, but European cuisines and things like that, and things that they had, and things like beer. And so then he told them he said, other tribes won't be as welcoming to you. My tribe will be. And then there was, a really famous Indian whose name I'm not going to be able to remember. It doesn't matter, but it does, to them.
Sacagawea.
No, I don't
Pocahontas.
think so. It is an S name for sure. Anyways, but here's the thing. He was the only one of his tribe that was left. Santo.
Okay.
Yeah. He was the only one of his tribe left. He spoke fluent English because he had lived in Europe for a while. He escaped and got back somehow. And so they made a deal because...
My favorite part is we're ignoring the whole fact that some Indian, like a Native American, was taken and stolen to Europe. And we were like...
Raised as a child in this...
Grew up.
Yep.
And then he somehow escaped and made it back to the United States, to his native lands.
It's the original inspiration in reverse of the late 1990s Tim Allen heartwarming movie Jungle to Jungle. Colony to colony.
Yeah. Sorry, you can continue now. I just wanted to point out the insanity
so essentially
of that.
The one guy's tribe was surrounded by enemy tribes. And so the European settlers had weaponry that was useful for their tribe to intimidate the other tribes to back the F off. They fought some of them, but they also just told them, like, get the hell out or, else. And so then in return, that tribe taught those European settlers how to make those foods, like the native foods, and help them get through the winter with supplies and all. So it was a little bit more quid pro quo than you kind of hear it now. Back in the day, you heard nothing. It was just, they were so friendly, and then it doesn't matter what happened a few years later.
And then we murdered them all.
Right. No big deal. But now it's just...
That's my favorite part. We go, oh yeah, no, the Indians were great. They saved us in Thanksgiving, and then we get like 3 months in, like you're in like elementary school. You're like, oh yeah, no, the Indians saved us all Thanksgiving, and then like a month later, you're like, what is it? The Indians versus the frickin' Americans or whatever. What is it? Whatever it was. Like,
is there an Indian American War? American Indian War or something like that? No, is there like a specific one that's like named that?
Indians versus something else.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh yeah, a month later we're talking about just murdering them all. So that's cool.
Within a month, but yeah. But all I meant was there was a little bit more. We were helping each other out. It wasn't just, oh my gosh, they were left for dead and they came in out of the graciousness of their heart and just said, hey, we're gonna help you make it. It was, hey, if you'll help us with our problem, we'll help you with yours.
To be fair, if they were smart, they would have just been like, yeah, go ahead, do whatever you need to do. And just like stood 3 feet back and watched them all die.
Oh, for sure.
Like,
they were dying.
I'm going to go ahead and take this now.
The original survival rate of settlers at the time was something like 20%.
Oh yeah,
it was insane. The amount of people
that's what I'm saying. I'm like, at that point, you're like,
don't get me wrong.
And you're like,
that's what I'm saying. If they had done nothing, they'd have been wiped out. But this tribe felt that it was in their best interest for a reason to help them get through because they had weaponry. Like you said, they should have waited it out.
Because I'd like to point out, like, you just wait. Just give them a month.
Man, they're gonna let them die. Then you get the weapons for free. You don't have to give any of your food. I get it. I mean, obviously, that would have worked out better for them in the long run. But that is
far better for all of them.
So, okay, I had asked the question of why it's on the fourth Thursday. Essentially,
no, that's a great question. I have no idea.
Essentially, it was the fourth Thursday ever since Lincoln. So George Washington made it a national holiday. Lincoln did something to like solidify the date, or at least Washington made like a commemoration of it, and then maybe Lincoln made it a federal or a actual holiday after the Civil War as kind of a let's bring the nation together thing. So it's very apropos to where we're at. Red hats. And And it was the fourth Thursday, and it stayed the fourth Thursday. And then it would, every once in a while, it would land on November 30th, like right at the end of the month. And as we got into more modern times, so 1939, it landed on November 30th. Big business owners and whatever, lobbyists, felt like that would hurt the Christmas shopping holiday. And so they asked Roosevelt to push it back, and he did, to November 23rd, and it caused chaos because different states fought and were like, no, we're not going to recognize this. And so even back then in the 30s, it caused like issues with football games, it caused issues with travel plans and all this stuff, where they made it a, what do you call it? I think it was actually Eisenhower who ended up, Congress in maybe 1943. I'm not going to pull notes, but 1943, I think it was, made it a congressional act that it was the fourth Thursday of every November for the rest of all time.
Wow.
And it's been that way ever since the fourth. Isn't that crazy? And that's the thing, because it happened sometime around October, November at that point, that great feast. And it was a 3-day celebration for those settlers in that tribe after they bullied all the quote unquote enemy tribes at the time to stay away.
Cool. So we get to celebrate it because we were like, hey, we have the most sicknesses, so we win because everyone else is gonna die just by interacting with us, so this works out.
Pretty much. Yeah, we wiped a lot of them out that way too. But like I say, it was just interesting to me because I have always wondered and I've never looked too much into it. Yeah, right? It's like
I never have once questioned random why Thanksgiving is where it is.
They've tried over the years too, like years ago, to make it like a Friday, because I think, was it that it was like a long time ago. It might have been the 1800s that they tried to make it a Friday, and because they said it would be a 3-day weekend and stuff. It's just crazy how some of these things have been problems for 200 years. The same stuff they'd talk about now. And like
having a 3-day weekend. Americans
and going
can't
back
have
to why
that.
I love holidays, right? Well, some places you get a 4-day weekend, but I love holidays, and holidays are this connectivity of time where we're doing the same thing somewhat in the same ways. I guess there's some bad examples of that too in this country, but where we're doing the same thing in the same ways that we were doing hundreds of years ago, that we've passed these traditions down for these things from so long ago.
Let me turn my hat around the other way, and then, yes, we can do the same things we've done for years. The whole, whole hating on entire race groups.
Well, right. Like I say, that's what I meant by there are some maybe like bad examples of that, but that evolves and all too. But that's a different conversation for a different day. We're not going to do two white guys talk about race thing today.
Hey now. I'm Jewish, technically. I've got at least half
Fair
Jew.
enough.
The other half of me literally is coming from Nazi Germany. So that's a whole secondary question.
Harrison Ford, half Jewish, not too shabby. I don't know if that's actually the line. I think it does say that Harrison Ford, though, is half Jewish.
But yeah, no, but for real, though, like, I am, like, halfway there. Like, I'm, like, half, like, Jews. The other half is literally straight from fucking, like, Oscar, what is it? The one that murdered all of the... Oh, yes. That's where the other half of my family lineage comes from.
Wow.
The only reason I know this is my great grandfather. Love him to death. Well, he's already dead, so he's he may or may not have had a little mini Nazi shrine in his basement.
Well, that's terrifying.
Yeah. But don't get me wrong. The other half is actually Jewish. So I get both. I get to when it come to those conversations, they're like, "Oh, are you Jewish?" I went, "Yes." but also the other half of me murdered the other half of me. So this works.
Yeah. It's I want to make jokes about them getting freaky back during the Holocaust. I want to be like, does anyone know the story of where that happened? Where they like, hopefully it was some beautiful love story where they ran away together, and but anyways, and then, or just totally different time period, I guess. But
yeah.
But then there's also the Nazi shrine is a nice touch of terrifying, where it's like,
right,
I want to make jokes about like, the Jewish half of your family and like whether or not they breathe easier after grandpa's gone. Like, that's horrible. Oh my gosh.
It's terrible, but it's also like, oh, that was a thing that had happened. And you're like, oh God. Oh God!
Yeah, that's
like,
insane.
As a child, like you're like, oh no!
How did we get to Nazis? We were talking
awesome.
about holidays. No wonder you hate holidays. Where does your brain go?
Wait,
I'm sure I helped get us there.
I'm sorry. Too. Do most of your holidays not end up at Nazis? Because maybe we have
no. That must be the German half.
Idea.
I don't have any strong German in my bloodline, so.
No, it's okay. You
Irish.
just have racists.
My holidays, well, don't we all? It's America. If you're white, you got racists somewhere in your line. But I'm Irish. We just drink. That's what we do.
Wait, is that why you have the rosy red cheeks?
Rosy red cheeks. That's right. Well, that, and because it's almost Christmas, which I also want to talk about Christmas. But did you have anything else on Thanksgiving?
Oh no, you're all in. Go for it.
Okay,
I'm done.
So
I'm done with my whole spiel.
Christmas comes all the way from 336 AD. That was the first time that Christmas was ever recorded as December 25th. And one of the things that they said was...
Hold on. That's the first time Christmas was recorded on that date. That's not the first time of Christmas, though, right?
No. No, I'm not saying that's the original Christmas. And actually, there's no one that knows for sure why or when. Not 100%. There's different theories about how and when Christmas became December 25th. It's not straight like this is the exact reason.
But it had a lot to do with the fact that the pagan holidays...
Right.
...were at that time.
Sure.
And then Christians were like... Hey, these guys look like they're having too much fun. Maybe we can get in on this. And they're like, hey, here's the birth of a small child. Let's go ahead and add this to the mess.
But there's the thing, like, Jesus was not born on or around... No one knows the exact date that Jesus was born either. And it's actually believed...
We have a lot of evidence to show that Jesus was born...
in the summer.
Very far from...
Yeah, in like June or something. Yeah.
Yes.
But it's believed that the Annunciation, when Mary was told of the Immaculate Conception and that she was having a baby, was on March 25th. And that 9 months after that is December 25th, in the belief of the church, that's when and how they came up with December 25th, because they just kind of decided that Jesus must have been born 9 months after she was told.
That's a cute argument. I like it.
We're not doing a religion debate.
I'll give you cute.
Yeah, we're not doing a religion debate anyways.
But it's on there.
It's on there. We always poke the bear. But I was gonna say I will give you a little bit of a line with Jim Gaffigan's joke on that, where he talks about, can you imagine being Joseph in that situation? And it's like Mary's like, Joseph, you know how we haven't had sex yet? Well, I'm pregnant. And Joseph's like, Jesus Christ. And she goes, oh, you've heard. Again, Jim Gaffigan, full credit. I am just the parrot.
Are you sure? Because let's just go ahead and have you take that joke.
Oh my gosh.
No, this is me. It was not Jim Gaffigan. Don't you understand? This
JB,
Jared Blake came
JG,
up with this one first.
Right. That is how it works in the industry, I think. But no. Yeah, no, it was pretty great. But like I say, no one knows exactly why we do it in Christmas. And like you said, Christmas Day, pagan holidays do matter for sure for why the church liked that time of year. And they were feeling left out, you know. They wanted their own thing.
Yeah. They're like, hey, I see you guys are all having fun. Can we have fun with my idealism instead?
Seriously,
here.
If you've never seen it, I got to make a mention of that because there's so many, but I won't rip off all his material. If you've never seen Beyond the Pale with Jim Gaffigan, one of his older specials, you got to go find it because he does a whole holiday riff that's just incredible.
I actually haven't.
You have to see it. There's so many. He talks about like why we do like Christmas trees and stuff, and it's just amazing. I won't steal it, but it's hilarious. Beyond the Pale, Jim Gaffigan. But anyways, it just felt important to do. But no, yeah.
No, I get it.
So we stole pagan holidays a little bit. We being the church.
Not me.
Right. Well, we being me in the church. Anyways, I wasn't there when they decided to steal it.
I would like to be clear. I have restolen your holidays and turned them into football tailgating excuses.
Christmas as well? You don't tailgate.
You know
Christmas.
what? I will.
Because actually...
Bullshit. I will now. No, I'm doing that now. I don't even care. I will have my own football game, too.
What you have to do is there's always some kind of professional sports going on Christmas Day, basketball and football. A lot of times this year it's both. You just have to find an event to go to and like go out there and do a tailgate, even if no one else comes.
This is mine now.
That sounds like your perfect Christmas anyways.
Yes. Does this make me a bad person that I'm more excited about a sport?
Most people listening would think about it probably, but you know, that's on them. That's their decision.
It's acceptable.
Right. I love Christmas. Also, Christmas is my actual birthday. So as you know, and now the audience knows that didn't know before. So I'm willing to share with Jesus.
Okay.
Even though it's not. See, I love Jesus so much.
Public.
Right? I love Jesus so much, even though he wasn't actually born on Christmas Day. I'm still willing to share my birthday with him. But I pat myself on the back and tell myself that everyone's having a party for me around the country and somewhat around the world. So, you know, that's why it's okay. I can't have a birthday party.
That makes you happy. I'm glad that that's what you're able to live with yourself.
It does.
So what? I completely broke us in terms of we were going on that one.
That one, I didn't. It was just more interesting to me that with Christmas, we don't even know 1,000% how and why. I mean, same thing where as we became more.
Pretty much everything there.
Go ahead.
Is still related to the whole fact that it was a pagan holiday. That is a pagan holiday that the Christian church was like, they are celebrating. They're having too much fun. We're not having fun. Let's have fun when they're having fun. So we are cooler than they are.
But now there's like 8 different holidays at that time of year. So you really can't just pin that on the Christians.
Oh, okay. You know what? It's all Kwanzaa's fault.
Hey, I'm not naming any names. Hanukkah also could be blamed.
It's the only other one I know. Oh,
you don't know Hanukkah?
I was like,
wow, you're turning in your half Jew card. You should give it to Harrison Ford. He could be a full Jew. Anyways, where else can we go from there? I did have one other totally random holiday that has a fun.
Please, let's go.
Do you know why we celebrate April Fool's Day / why April Fool's Day is when it is?
I have actually no clue here. This is completely. I have literally nothing to give here.
So when we modernized the calendar the last time, essentially, I can't remember the names right now. I'm too drunk. I'm definitely not digging through.
To the,
like, I don't know. I want to say Mayan.
You're talking the Gregorian to the Roman calendar, whatever the hell it is.
Let's go with that. There were people who refused to switch, and there were people who didn't get the information that people were switching. And in the old calendar, the end of March, the end of spring, or the beginning of spring, the end of winter was no, it was in Europe, so I think it's the opposite. It doesn't matter. But the end of March was the new year. And so they celebrated the
Okay.
new year. And so they became like some Latin word for fools that still celebrated the new year at the end of March instead of the end of December. And so it was Fool's Day. Yeah. Isn't that one awesome? That's so crazy. Yeah. I do have the notes
and
somewhere
so
for
that turned into one where you're just like, go ahead and have fun on this day because there's a bunch of freaking morons who don't do things.
Can we turn it? Gullible people. Gullible people, where it's like, oh, you're such a fool. You think it's the end of the year, like now, and it's the quarter of the year.
Oh, you're such a fool. You think COVID's not a thing.
Yep. Oh, there is. By the way, I should have mentioned on Christmas. I had meant to mention this. There's many Orthodox and Coptic churches that still use the Julian calendar. And so they actually do celebrate their Christmas on the 7th of January. So there is a little bit, at least a faction of the church that doesn't steal the exact date. I wish I could find the one. Sorry. Okay. Back to April Fool's, though. That was the more exciting one to me, too.
No, that was actually really cool. I never had heard that, and I love that story.
Isn't that crazy? And like you say, I like the idea that it's like, oh, it's gullible. You believe something that's not true. Like, it's usually, you trick somebody.
Especially in this day and age. And you're like,
oh my God.
Oh, yo, you believe something that's completely and utterly wrong in every way, shape, and form.
Oh my gosh. It's so bad.
I don't know anything that I could possibly relate to in that regard. Nothing. Nothing.
No. I would mask you if you're talking about something clear and easy to to find that people are ridiculously debating, but I can't imagine what it could be.
No idea.
Maybe if I cover my face for a minute and think about it. Maybe. I don't know. I don't think I can come up with it. But anyways, should we move on to topic 3? Are we good on holidays?
Whatever topic 3 is.
Topic 3 is some BS. We can just kind of chat. It's just an excuse to take this third shot, to be honest with you. It's the holiday season. Give us a break. I hope you're enjoying this. I hope you're laughing as much as we are. But and
if you're not, I don't really care because I'm enjoying this. So
that's it, right? You can go to a different episode. Oh wow, there was a clink there. Was that you?
You want another
nice!
clink?
I like it.
I can give you all the clinks.
So if you watch any of our videos to the very end, that actually is almost exactly the frequency of clink that you get for the end screen. But anyways, okay. For a minute I thought we were editing a video. I would like to point out the
reason why that is the case, because I spent hours. I wish it weren't hours, but I spent hours making that specific sound. Foley artists are massively underrated, and they should be paid more money. That's all I'm saying.
That's everywhere.
I just wanted to point that one out.
No, I agree. Okay, so are we taking this third shot and doing our third topic?
Yeah. Cheers. Cheers, my friend.
I didn't say salute, but salute.
Okay. Is every single shot of yours in a different glass every week?
I mean, I rotate back through, but yeah, it's definitely worth paying attention to what I'm shooting from if you're watching on YouTube.
Because I will be completely honest with you, this is the first episode I ever actually looked at what you were shooting out of.
I appreciate it. That's okay.
That makes me a bad person, sure, but
I've themed it other weeks too. I remember when we did the Batman episode that we did the sip of the show of early on. I did superhero. It was all superheroes. Yeah.
Oh, well, that just makes me a terrible person because I definitely did not once look.
It just means you're not our biggest fan because I've had people mention the shot glasses to me. So I know some people are watching closer than my co-host. Yeah. Not a lot. But every once in a while it's like, oh, you have some cool shot glasses too. And I'm like, oh, thanks. So I don't know why I made them sound jerks. Oh, this is how I talk about my audience. I make them sound like morons.
No. Oh, okay. The only people who noticed the wonderful joke that I had going, that was just for them.
Right, exactly.
Like, I had a wonderful underlying joke, a hidden, wonderful, happy little joke, and yeah.
Oh, I stole it from you?
So, I'm sorry. You had things to talk about?
Not even so much.
Sorry,
Did you know that? Did you? No, it's okay. So I wanted to talk about boxing for the hell of it. First of all, 12-year-old Jared Blake was a huge Rocky fan and thought maybe he'd become a boxer, and then realized he's a wimp and doesn't want to get punched like in the arm, much less in the face, and decided that if I was going to show off, it would be comedic skill, not
Wait. I'm sorry. Rocky and boxing?
Rocky, my favorite movies of all time,
Yeah.
Rocky Balboa. Yo, Adrian! That was one of the reasons I wanted to bring up boxing. It was just the 35th anniversary of Rocky IV, the greatest Rocky of all time. The reason the Cold War finally ended.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because
if you can change, and I can change, and he can change, we can all do it, Adrian! That's not how it goes, but it's funny because it sounds like I'm making fun of it, but I love it. It's like watching that movie. It's like it's trying to be a bad movie, but it's the greatest movie of all time. It was the 35th anniversary, and they're actually doing a release, or maybe they did it on the date. I haven't seen it, of a new cut. Did you watch the Rocky movies or no?
Is this when I go ahead and eat some crow and go, I've never truly watched a Rocky movie?
You have to one day watch 1 through 4, and that's it.
Uh-huh. Pretend the rest don't exist.
5 is the only one I hate. Every other movie's at least worth watching for me. The 2 Creed movies are fantastic. The newer ones he made with Michael B. Jordan, fantastic movies. So good. He was nominated for an Oscar for Creed 1. And he won an Oscar for the first Rocky. He won it for writer and for actor, I think. Or director and actor. I don't know. He won a bunch of...
You're just making things up.
That first one, he won a bunch of Oscars. And to be honest...
No, I know. The first Rocky was really good, supposedly. I never watched it because I'm a terrible human being.
I appreciate you saying that. There is a whole thing.
No, I absolutely... Look, there are certain things...
You should watch.
...that are cultural staples that I've just been like, they're supposedly great.
This is my Rocky shirt. Oh,
wow.
Dude, I own at least 3 Rocky shirts. Minimum 3.
It's okay, though. You stole my UCF shirt, the champions, so I'm happy here. Like, I get it. But like, it's one of those few things that I know everyone has said is amazing. Everyone says is a staple of American culture. And I just have been like, yeah, no, it's great. And I've never actually done it. As weird as it sounds, like I've never watched a Rocky movie.
You gotta watch it. So Rocky 4, though, like I say, remastered. So I'll watch the remaster, and maybe I'll let you know if you need to watch both versions, or if you should only watch the original version or the newer version,
or only the remaster.
It could be, yeah. Because
I
mean, Stallone's doing it, so as long as he's the one getting the chance to mess with it, maybe he's just gonna make it better. They just did that with Godfather 3 too. Anyways, like I say, this is just a total mess topic. So that was my boxing thing. I also wanted to bring up today. I didn't see if it ended. It started right around midnight. So right when we started recording, it's November 29th now. Technically, it's 1 a.m. Did you know Mike Tyson and Roy Jones Jr., who I'm sure you don't know Roy Jones Jr., but Mike Tyson, similar era, are boxing right now? Mike Tyson's 54 years old. Dude, you've got to look up, so audience as well, look up Mike Tyson weight loss. He got huge during, like, after...
I remember that.
And he now is back. I mean, he's ripped. Totally ripped. It's incredible. Incredible.
There are so many drugs involved in that. And I am so proud of him for taking all of them.
Dude, at least it paid off, man. I'm telling you. So
hey,
he's fighting.
I'm not upset because that is still a lot of human work. Like, here's the thing. Like, people are like, oh, yeah, drugs do all the things. Yeah, no, drugs do all the things. But you still actually have to put the effort in to make the drugs work.
Oh, for sure.
So, like, he is well above the age that even should be reasonable for what he looks like. But
yeah,
fuck it. Yeah, you do your thing and get in there, honey. And so that's what he's doing, I'm assuming.
Oh, dude, no. So I'm really intrigued to see who won. I almost considered trying to buy the fight, and I've
Who's
never
the
paid
other one?
for Roy Jones Jr., also famous, bit older. He's a little younger than Tyson.
Younger
than Tyson, but old for boxing. He's been retired a few years as well. But
so I'm assuming he's gonna win.
It'll be interesting to see. To be honest, he said he goes, Mike called me for this because they never did it when they were in their primes. Like, they were similar enough era they should have boxed. A lot of people wanted them to box.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But he said he called me for this, and the only reason I was willing to come back was because it was Mike, and I had never fought, Tyson, and everybody wanted to see it, and everybody, I always wanted to do it. He said, but it was supposed to be an exhibition. And he goes, and then I saw his videos, because he released videos of, like, training and stuff. And he goes, and I realized, like, this dude, he didn't say this, but it's Tyson, so he should have. He's like, this dude's going to eat my face. Like, he's like, he goes, I don't know if I would have agreed to it if I had seen, like, how intense he was about this. Yeah, so that didn't sound good for his chances. I don't know who's going to win.
That doesn't seem great.
Actually, you know what? Here, we'll break news right here. We'll see whether or not I can find the winner. That could be how I can cap off this topic. I don't think I have anything else other than now I know I need to make you watch all the Rockies. All the important Rockies.
No, but I really do. That's one that I've avoided, and not really avoided, just, like, not done. Everyone's got something like that.
Oh, wow. They went the distance. They ended in a draw.
Wait, what?
Yep.
Wait, what? No, hold on.
They ended in a draw.
How? I don't feel that that's acceptable. How do you end in a draw in a boxing match? Do you both knock each other out? Because if that's not the answer, then I feel that you didn't properly box to a draw.
Yeah, apparently. So I'm reading Twitter, but
no, I get it. You got like a 12-second here highlight.
No, but everything I'm reading is telling me Tyson won the fight. It said the judges who called the fight a draw, and it showed like Stevie Wonder, Ray Charles, like all blind people. And then everyone else is like, "How is that a draw?"
Blind people?
Blind.
Okay, I'm sorry. I thought you said black people at first. I was like, "Wow, that is."
I mean, I only named 2 black people in fairness, but I didn't remember who the third blind person was.
But they were both blind, which is the more important part.
That was the part that made them right. But it showed a guy in a body cast, and it said Roy Jones after taking all them body shots. And then I saw a picture of the two of them side by side, and Roy Jones looks like he had not been working out. Tyson looked like we were just talking about a few minutes ago, like he took all the enhancing drugs. And
which I'm
not
sure
really
he
though.
did.
He really just looks ripped. He doesn't look huge. So I got to give him credit. I don't mean to disparage what he's done.
You say that,
I think he may have done it legally.
Also, like his age.
I get it. But he might just be a machine.
And you know what though? Here's the thing. I am not upset by him taking those drugs. Like,
I understand.
That feels reasonable.
I get that too, but I'm saying I don't want to just say that offhand as if I know. There's no way I know, and I'm sure he's doing some stuff, but he may just be doing legal stuff. Things that are all agreed upon, and he's just doing it to the max.
Also, I don't know that there's anything illegal for a regular boxing match.
Oh, no. Yeah, there is. They do steroid tests. Like steroids,
really?
the majority of HGH. Yeah, they do testing.
I don't know. I was just assuming. I'm like, either way, it's still like.
I think the fear for them, if they let people like juice up fully and fight, is that they would have more, like in Rocky 4. Oh wait, I can't ruin it for you, but they would have more, I'll just say, deaths in the ring. I won't say who or which match, but
it just sounds like baseball. Baseball, they're like, oh no,
that's
drugs
cheating.
Are bad, but this is how we actually make people watch us.
That's dude. I never was more into baseball than I was in '98. Sammy Sosa versus Mark McGwire going for the home run. Everyone was into it. Didn't matter, they were juiced up.
Nobody cared about baseball until it became illegal.
Chicks dig the long ball, man. But anyways, so yeah, apparently it was a draw. I also saw one other thing, was it said Mike Tyson, I really hope we get the chance to do this again, and Roy Jones Jr. is like, I'm not gonna be here, and he's like leaving. He's like laughing because apparently he got his butt beat, even though that's not what the judges called. But yeah, no, that was my third topic, was just to BS about. I wanted a chance to fawn on about Rocky and what do you call it, and to wear my Rocky shirt and show it off.
You got to go ahead and learn that I
break
never
some news 3 weeks later. Oh, watch Rocky.
I never watched
that's
the Rocky
true.
movie.
That's sad. I almost wonder if you need to watch Rocky and then Creed. But okay. We'll try and make it happen somehow or another.
I've never done it. Like that's on me.
Yeah, we can change that. Hopefully we've got time.
Right.
All right.
Well, you never know. COVID might kill us all. Who knows?
Well, that could be too. We'll see what happens. So, what a 2020 thing for this big match to end in a draw. Like all this, what he called all this anticipation build up. It's like,
I don't
it's a draw.
actually appreciate that choice.
No, that's insane.
I feel that's
weak.
Bullshit. And either way it could be, it's still bullshit.
I agree. All right. Anything else we should leave our audience with other than begging for likes and subscribes for anyone who actually listened to this whole thing?
We already know nobody does. Well, that's why statistics exist.
See, if you did like and or subscribe, and when you do it, we'll know that you listened to the whole thing.
Because we actually have statistics for that. But also, statistics exist. So therefore, wear your fucking mask, you dumb fuck. Man, this feels like a series finale. Unfortunately, no, you don't understand. I have to repeat that because...
Go ahead, because why?
Yeah, I still have to repeat it. I just still have to repeat it because people apparently don't get it. And that's the thing.
Nope. Yep.
And so, it's unfortunate. But, like, wear your fucking mask, asshole.
It's not hard. Shouldn't be a debate. Like we said, there's only two
No,
either
look,
I think they work and I wear them anyways,
I don't care, but
right. But do it.
Sorry,
right, Zach,
I had to bring it back.
It's okay. Wear the mask. I agree. All right, Zach, we may not always be technically correct. Wow, but we will get drunk, so we will always be.
Yes, of course. Alcoholically
correct. Cheers.
Cheers.